There is a moment most people never see coming. The moment a doctor writes one sentence in your medical chart. A sentence about memory, or a stroke, or capacity. And every account you own splits into 4 separate rooms. Your retirement account, your brokerage account, your bank account, and your house. Each room gets its own lock, and on that day, only one person in the entire country holds a key to all 4. It is not your spouse. It is not your children. It is a probate judge. Your wife of 50 years cannot open them. Your son cannot open them. Only the judge. Unless each of those 4 rooms was shielded ahead of time. And here is the part that surprises people. Each room needs a different shield. The shield that protects your bank account does nothing for your IRA. The shield that protects your IRA does nothing for your house. And the house is the one room where the trap is most severe. Your own spouse cannot sell it, cannot refinance it, cannot borrow $1 against it without standing in front of that judge. Even to pay for your care, we will get to the house, because the fix for it is one piece of paper that most people have never heard spoken out loud. Today I am walking you through all 4 rooms, what locks each one, the exact shield each one needs, and the new wave of state laws that arrived in 2026 that changed how judges are allowed to handle these cases in a way that can work powerfully in your favor, but only if your accounts are set up to use it. One of these shields is completely free. One takes 10 minutes at a counter. None of them require a lawyer to understand. My name is Kevin. Let's open the first door. Room 1. Your retirement account, your IRA, your 401k, your 403b. And I am starting here because this room has a rule that makes it different from every other account you own. A retirement account can only ever have one name on it, yours. Federal law does not allow a joint IRA. It does not exist. You cannot add your wife. You cannot add your husband. You cannot add a child. The I in IRA stands for individual, and the law means it. For most retired couples, the retirement account is the single largest pool of money they have, and by law, it sits behind a door that only one signature in the house can open. So when that one signature stops counting, that room does not just lock, it seals. Let me show you what that looks like. Harold is 77, a retired postal worker from Fort Wayne, Indiana. 31 years walking a mail route. Harold's rollover IRA held $340,000. His name, his account, his life's work. Last spring, Harold was diagnosed with vascular dementia. It moved faster than anyone expected. By August, Harold could no longer manage his own affairs. And in September, his wife Ruth called the brokerage to set up a monthly withdrawal to help cover his memory care. $6,200 a month. The money was sitting right there. The young man on the phone was polite. He said, "Ma'am, you are not listed on this account." Ruth said, "I am his wife. We have been married 53 years. And the young man said the sentence that seals room 1 in houses all across this country. Marriage does not grant account access. 53 years. Zero authority. Ruth was not asking to take Harold's money. She was asking to spend Harold's money on Harold. The answer was no, not because the brokerage was cruel, because with no authority on file, releasing $1 to anyone who is not the account holder is something the brokerage is legally forbidden to do. Ruth's only remaining road ran through a courtroom. A guardianship petition, lawyers, filing fees, a court investigator, a public hearing where Ruth had to argue on the record that the man she loves can no longer run his own life. 7 months. $11,000 in costs before she was allowed to spend her own husband's savings on her own husband's care. And the memory care facility did not wait quietly. So how do you shield room 1? You cannot add a name. The law forbids it. So the shield for a retirement account is authority on file with the custodian before the door seals. 2 moves. Move 1. Last week on this channel, we walked through the durable power of attorney, the paper that names your agent. If you missed it, watch it after this. But here's the part that video could not cover, and this is where most families still get burned. Your brokerage does not have to like your document. A perfectly valid power of attorney can sit in a compliance review queue for weeks, so you skip the queue. Every major custodian, Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, all of them, has their own internal authorization form, their paper, their format. pre-approved by their own legal department. You call them while you are healthy and say one sentence. I want to put agent authorization on file using your form. Their form gets processed. Outside paper gets studied. Move 2. While you are on that call, confirm your beneficiaries, primary and contingent, because an outdated beneficiary line is how retirement money ends up with an ex-spouse or stuck in probate, no matter what any other document says. The beneficiary form beats the will, every time. 2 moves, 1 phone call. Room 1, shielded. And if this is the first time anyone has told you, a joint IRA does not exist. Subscribe right now. Every week on this channel, we cover the rules that decide what happens to your money, before the rules decide for you. Room 2, your brokerage account, the taxable one, stocks, mutual funds, the money outside the IRA. This room is friendlier than room 1. The law allows this account to be shared, but here is the trap. Most people shield this room for the wrong event. They set it up for death and leave it wide open for incapacity. Here is what I mean. Many of you have heard of a TOD, transfer on death. You name a beneficiary, and when you pass, the account transfers directly. No probate, clean. And people hear that and think, good, this account is handled. But it is not. BOTO does absolutely nothing while you are alive. BOTO, if you are incapacitated, your TOD beneficiary has no more access to that account than a stranger at a bus stop. BOTO is a death shield. BOTO incapacity is a living event. BOTO and a living event needs a living shield. So room 2 gets layered. Layer 1. Both the same custodian authorization form from room 1, filed on this account too. Every institution, every account, their form. Layer 2. Both the TOD designation for the death side. BOTO, ask your brokerage for their transfer on death registration. BOTO 10 minutes, usually free. Layer 3. And this one is for those of you with larger balances. But if you hold a revocable living trust, this account can be retitled into the trust's name. But you stay in full control as trustee. But and if you become incapacitated, your successor trustee steps in the same day. No judge, no review queue, no 7 months. The trust is the strongest shield in this room. But hear me clearly. A trust only works if the account is actually retitled. There are people all over this country who paid good money for a trust, took the binder home, put it on a shelf, and never moved a single account into it. An empty trust shields nothing. It is a safe with the door open, and the money still on the kitchen table. If you signed a trust years ago, call your brokerage this week and ask one question. Is this account titled to my trust? If the answer is no, your shield is not up. Room 3. Your bank accounts, checking and savings, the everyday money, the room where the electric bill lives. I want to tell you about Sylvia, because Sylvia's story is the smallest in this video, and that is exactly why it matters. Sylvia is 74, a retired school secretary from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Her husband Art handled the bills from a checking account in his name only. Not for any deep reason. It was the account he opened in 1981, and nobody ever thought about it again. Art went into the hospital in January with a severe infection and spent 9 days on a ventilator. He recovered, thank God. But for those 9 days, Art could not authorize anything. And in those 9 days, the mortgage payment came due, from an account Sylvia could not touch. She sat at her kitchen table with 41 years of on-time payments behind her and watched the due date pass. The freeze that hurts you is not always a judge in a courtroom. Sometimes it is 9 quiet days and a late fee and a phone call to a mortgage company that treats you like a stranger. Room 3 has the easiest shields in this entire video. Shield 1, D, joint ownership with right of survivorship. D, for married couples, your primary household checking account. D should almost always carry both names. D, when both names are on the account, D, either signature works. Full stop. D, one spouse in a hospital bed. D changes nothing about the other spouse's access. D, Sylvia's entire 9 days disappear with one form at the counter. D, now one honest warning, because I will not sell you a shield without showing you its edge. D, joint ownership means full ownership. D, this is a marriage tool. D, adding an adult child to your checking account. D is a different decision entirely, because their debts, their divorce, their creditors, D can reach a joint account. For a child, you want authority, not ownership. D. That is what the agent paperwork is for. D. Spouse on the account, child on the documents. Write that down. Shield 2. The POD designation. Payable on death. Longtime viewers have heard me talk about POD as the tool that gets money to your family without probate, but here's the incapacity angle I have never given you. A POD costs nothing, changes nothing while you are alive, and gives nobody access to your money today, which means there is no excuse and no risk in setting it up on every single bank account you own this week. It is the only shield in this video with zero downside. Shield 3. The trusted contact. One name and phone number on file that your bank is allowed to call if something on your account ever looks wrong. No access, no control, just a phone call. Free, 2 minutes. Same counter visit. Room 3, shielded, for the price of one trip to the bank. And that price is exactly what I want to sit with for a second, because it is so small compared to what Ruth is still living through. With Vernon's wife, 7 months in and counting. With picture one specific evening inside those 7 months, with month 3. With Ruth at the kitchen table, with the memory care invoice on one side and a letter from her attorney on the other, with both asking for money. With $340,000 sitting healthy and green in an account across town, and Ruth counting out her grocery budget from the one small joint account her name could reach. With Ruth did not need a law degree that evening, which she needed one authorization form, filed 2 years earlier on a Tuesday afternoon, when it would have taken 11 minutes. With that is the entire reason the Quiet Rules exists. With it is not a book you read, with it is the drawer your family opens on the worst week of their lives and finds the 11-minute version already done. The account checklist, room by room. Both the exact sentence to say at the bank counter. Both the custodian forms to ask for, by name. Both in large print, in plain English, already organized. Both, the link is in the description below. Both, or scan the QR code on your screen right now. Both, it is also in the pinned comment. Both, and it carries a full 7-day guarantee. Both, if it does not make your house safer, you pay nothing. Both, which brings us to the room where none of this is easy. Both room 4. Both the house. Both, I told you at the start, this is the room where the trap is most severe. Both, here is why. Both, every account we have covered so far holds money. Both, the house holds value that has to be unlocked to become money. Both, to unlock it, someone has to sign. Both, a sale, a refinance, a home equity line, a reverse mortgage. Both, every one of those requires the signature, both of every owner on the deed. Both, now follow this chain slowly, because this is the sentence that stuns people. If the house is in your name and you lose capacity, your spouse cannot sell it, not to downsize, not to move closer to the kids, not even to pay for your care. The one asset families always assume they can fall back on. We can always sell the house if we have to, is the single hardest asset to touch once capacity is gone. Because a deed needs a living, valid signature, and no title company on earth will close a sale with a signature a doctor has crossed out. Lorraine learned this in the hardest way I know. Lorraine is 72, a retired nurse from Mobile, Alabama. Her husband Dewey built their house himself in 1986. His name on the deed, only his. 3 years ago, Dewey's Parkinson's progressed into dementia, and last year Dewey needed full-time skilled nursing, $9,400 a month. Lorraine and her son sat down, did the math every family does, and reached the conclusion every family reaches. We sell the house. The house was worth $310,000. Paid off, free and clear, enough to fund years of Dewey's care. A buyer was found, a young family, fair offer. And at the title company, the entire plan hit a wall 1 sentence high. Mr. Dewey has to sign. Dewey could not sign. Dewey had not been able to sign for over a year. So the sale stopped. The buyer walked. And Lorraine entered the same courthouse road as Ruth, except heavier. Because to sell an incapacitated person's home, in most states, the court does not just appoint a guardian. The court supervises the sale itself. Petitions, appraisals, court confirmation. In some counties, the judge must approve the final price. It took Lorraine 10 months and over $14,000 to sell her own family's house to pay for her own husband's care. Dewey built that house with his hands, and in the end, a stranger in a robe had to give his wife permission to use it to save him. So how do you shield room 4? 3 tools, and which one fits you depends on your state and your family. Tool 1. Joint ownership with right of survivorship. Both spouses on the deed. This is the baseline. It gives the healthy spouse standing, and at death, the home passes automatically. But be honest about its limit. Joint title alone does not fully solve incapacity, because a sale still needs both signatures, and one of them may not count anymore. It helps. It is not the whole shield. Tool 2, and this is the piece of paper I promised you at the top of this video, the Enhanced Life Estate Deed. Known almost everywhere it exists as the Ladybird Deed. Available in a handful of states, Florida, Texas, Michigan, Vermont, West Virginia among them, and it does something remarkable. You keep complete control of your home while you are alive. Sell it, mortgage it, change your mind, anything, and the moment you pass, the home flows to the person you named. No probate, no court, no waiting. For the states that allow it, it is one of the cleanest tools in all of retirement planning, and most people have never heard its name. If you live in a Ladybird state, that is a one-appointment conversation with a local real estate or elder law attorney. Tool 3. The strongest shield in this room, the revocable living trust. The house is retitled into the trust. You are the trustee. You control everything. Nothing about your daily life changes. But if capacity is ever lost, your successor trustee, the person you chose, can manage the house, maintain the house, and yes, sell the house, without a judge ever hearing your family's name. Lorraine's 10 months become a signature at a title company. $14,000 becomes zero. If your home is your largest asset, and for most American families it is, the trust is the shield built to fit it. Before the checklist, you need to know what changed in 2026, because there is a piece of genuinely good news moving through the states right now, and almost nobody is telling seniors about it. Over the past 2 years, a wave of guardianship reform laws has been passing state legislatures. Kansas rebuilt its entire guardianship system, effective this January. Utah, Colorado, and others have passed or introduced their own versions. And these new laws share one core command to judges. Before you impose a full guardianship, you must consider the least restrictive alternative. Meaning, if there is a simpler tool available, an agent already authorized, a trust already standing, a family already organized, the court is now directed to use that instead of taking custody of the person's entire life. Judges in reform states are now required to look for your instructions first, but understand exactly what that means. The new laws tell the judge to look for an alternative. They do not create one for you. If the judge looks and finds 4 unshielded rooms, no authorization, no titling, no instructions, there is no alternative to find, and the full machine proceeds exactly as it did for Ruth and Lorraine. The 2026 reforms built a door out of the courtroom. Your paperwork is the key. The law has never been more on your side, and it has never mattered more that your side is ready. And that is really the whole cost comparison. Laid out in 2 columns, the way Ruth and Lorraine see it now. Column 1. The custodian authorization forms, free. Joint titling at the bank, free. POD designations, free. Trusted contact, free. TOD registration, free at most brokerages. A properly drafted trust with the house retitled, a few $1,000s, once. Column 2. Ruth, 7 months, $11,000. Lorraine, 10 months, $14,000, and a buyer who walked away. Sylvia, 9 days locked out of her own mortgage payment. Every family in this video paid column 2 because nobody told them column 1 existed. The quiet rules is column 1, written down, room by room, form by form, the bank sentence, the custodian call, the questions for the attorney, so you are not billed by the hour to learn vocabulary. It costs less than 1 month of late fees on one frozen mortgage payment. The link is in the description below. Scan the QR code on your screen right now, or grab it from the pinned comment. 7 days. Full refund if it is not worth its place in your drawer. Now, your action checklist. Room by room. Step 1. Retirement accounts. Call every custodian this week, put their internal authorization form on file, and confirm both beneficiary lines. One call per account. Step 2. Brokerage accounts. Same authorization form. Then ask for the transfer on death registration. And if you have a trust, ask the one question. Is this account titled to my trust? Step 3. Bank accounts. One counter visit. Spouse added with right of survivorship on the main household account. POD on every account. Trusted contact on every account. Spouse on the account. Children on the documents. Never the reverse. Step 4. The house. Pull your deed this week and read the names on it. Most people have not looked in decades. If you are in a ladybird state, ask an attorney about the enhanced life estate deed. If the house is your largest asset, ask about the living trust and make sure the retitling actually happens. Step 5. The 20-minute table test. List every account in this video and write whose signature controls each one. Every line with one name and no shield is a line where your family is currently scheduled for the courtroom. That page is the clearest picture of your exposure available at any price. And if your situation is already past the checklist, an account already sealed, a sale already stopped, a petition already filed, email me at kevinexplainsofficial@gmail.com. Tell me what happened. I will point you in the right direction. If this video showed you even one unshielded room, subscribe before you go. Next week, we are covering a rule that decides what the government can take back after a nursing home stay, and most families find out about it from a letter that arrives after the funeral. You want to see that one coming. The judge in this video is not a villain. The judge is a substitute. Courts take control of the 4 rooms for exactly one reason: because nobody left instructions. Guardianship exists for the family that never chose. Choose. Shield the retirement account with authority on file. Shield the brokerage with titling. Shield the bank with 2 names and a counter visit. Shield the house with a deed or a trust that already knows your wishes. 4 rooms, 4 shields, 1 week of phone calls, and no stranger in a robe ever holds a key to your life. So share this video with the couple you know whose house is in one name only. You know exactly who they are. I am Kevin. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to check the quiet rules at kevinexplains.shop.